following is a presentation of the Retro Network.
Hey there, podcast listeners. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. We're glad you pushed play on the special 2025 Christmas grab bag edition of the Retro Resurgence podcast, episode number 31, coming at you right now. My name, of course, is Chad, one half of the team here at the Retro Resurgence. The other half of the duo, a guy still hoping Santa will bring him a Red Ryder BB gun for Christmas, just as long as he remembers to drink more Ovaltine, my podcast partner, Ken. Ken, how are you?
Yeah, doing good, man. Yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. It's great to be back on doing the Christmas episode. We're going to have some fun tonight.
We are, and if our longtime listeners remember our first Christmas episode last year, you know, we were fairly newbies at that point.
Yeah.
Now we're grizzled vets, I would say.
Yeah, I believe that it was only episode 8 of the show when we did our first Christmas episode. So we're at 31. We've got some episodes under our belt, and we're ready to get this one going.
We are, and we learned a lot from that last episode last Christmas that our usual go-to format, the grab bag, as you dub it, has been a pretty successful format for us for our seasonal podcast or holiday podcast, and this one will be no different. So I guess you can call this our second annual Christmas grab bag edition here of the Retro Resurgence. I'm excited to get recorded, man. Things going good in your neck of the woods?
Yeah, they're going pretty good. We've started to warm up a little bit around here the last couple of days. We melted off most of that 17 inches of snow we got a couple weekends ago, and yeah, it's going to get cold tonight and be cold tomorrow, but then we're going to warm back up again for a few days. And yeah, I'd rather have no snow on the ground personally for my job, and just shoveling and snow blowing wise, I don't need that stuff anymore, really.
Yeah, and just a reminder, folks, still not winter officially. Still not winter.
Right. I believe Saturday or Sunday is the actual first day, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's things in the U.S. postal business? I'm sure this is your Super Bowl season in a sense. Obviously, from like Thanksgiving onward is peak season.
Yes.
So things going okay there?
Yeah, very busy. Some longer days, and even out there when it gets a little bit dark. But, you know, I've been doing this. I think this is my 22nd Christmas I've done. So I'm used to it, but I'm glad when it's over, though, as well.
Yeah, man, we appreciate you and what these U.S. postal workers and all the delivery drivers do to keep the season alive. I mean, the commercialism of Christmas seems to grow and grow every year, and guys and gals like you who work those long days and in those trucks hauling those boxes, man, we appreciate it. So we have a fun Christmas-themed episode again for you folks. And before we get going, Ken, we had some feedback from our last episode. You got some queued up?
Right. Our last episode, if you remember, was episode 30, our top 5 fast food toy promotions. That was a fun show to go through. One piece of feedback here from our buddies over there at the 80s, 90s recall. They just said California raisins were everywhere. That was one of my picks from Hardee's. And yeah, man, back at a few years back in the 80s and early 90s, yeah, the California raisins were all over the place.
Yeah, we thank those guys over at the 80s and 90s recall. They're a good podcast, good show. I like to check them out every once in a while, so go check them out over on Instagram.
Yeah, they got a really good show. And then we've got our buddy Jerospace. He said, I remember spending a good part of my summer trying to collect the Muppet Babies toys from McDonald's. 1987 was an amazing year. Welcome back to Recurrent Events. Thanks for carrying on the legacy that Jason started. I appreciate all you guys do to entertain us listeners. So yeah, thank you, Jerospace. And yeah, definitely we got the recurrent events segment back that Jason had started. And yeah, we like doing it, and we're glad to have it on our show.
Yeah, and Gerospace, like us, comes from that lineage of listening to Jason and his podcast for well over a decade when Jason started
Yeah.
with Rediscover the 80s and then the Retro Network with Mickey and things like that. So, fellow fan there, Gerospace, giving a shout out there. So thank you, Gerospace, for that.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening. Thanks for the feedback. We always appreciate it. So what are we going to roll on to next here, Chad?
Let's talk some recurrent events.
All right, sounds good.
All right, Ken, for our first recurrent events news story going on in the world right now. This was something you posted in the lounge, I believe, a few days ago, and I wanted to bring it up to our listeners. But, it's time to play the music and dim the lights because The Muppet Show is officially returning with a brand new special event in February of 2026. The special is designed as a massive celebration of the franchise's 50th anniversary. 5 decades ago, it debuted in 1976. Ken, you were a kid of the 70s, and I know you have very fond memories of The Muppet Show, so I figured I'd pass this one over to you for some commentary on what you think of this return.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I believe when they started in 1976, I didn't watch right away because I was only 2 years old, but then I remember like 78, 79, in 1980, especially when I was in those younger years, I really got into that show and probably watched it every episode that came on. And I believe they were only on for like 5 years. I think they ended in 1981 when I was 7. But yeah, man, I love the Muppets, the Muppet Show, all the Muppet movies that are out there. So I'm excited for this to come back, and I'm hoping that it's going to make true to the original show, and I hope it's going to be good. So yeah, I'm excited for it to come back.
Yeah, and according to what I've read here over on their official press release, the special returns to the roots of the franchise. You've got Kermit, Miss Piggy, Fozzie Bear, Gonzo, and the rest of the gang returning to the original Muppet Theater to produce a classic variety show. They've announced current queen of pop superstar Sabrina Carpenter, who's very big right now. She's going to be headlining as a guest star and a producer on the first episode. It's going to drop over on Disney Plus and ABC as a simulcast. It's being developed by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg. And while it's being billed as a special event, a lot of folks are thinking that this is going to be some sort of test pilot to see if they can bring this back as a sort of a recurring series. So anyway, I think it's good. Obviously, it's timely, much like, this year we were dealing with a lot of Jaws related things. And of course, 2026 marks a lot of anniversaries. And, up first is, of course, the Muppet Show from 1976. So I think it's, cool, and I hope it does well.
Yeah, me too. I hope it does turn into maybe like a seasonal show where they have maybe 10 episodes per season. Hopefully it does well. And like I said, I can't wait for it to come out to watch, and I'll definitely be watching.
Yeah. And if you're like me, a little too young to remember the Muppet Show, all 5 seasons are available on Disney Plus to stream. The original Muppet Show by the legendary Jim Henson, like you said, ran from 76 to 81, and it had guest stars of the time like Elton John, Diana Ross, Gladys Knight, Paul Simon, and during its run, it earned an Emmy and a Grammy and a Peabody and a numerous other awards. So yeah, a very prestigious show for its time. So I'm hoping it'll do well for sure.
Yeah, the guests that they had on this show at the time were awesome. My favorite episode of all time is the Star Wars episode when they had Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker, C-3PO, R2-D2. Yeah, so it was definitely a great variety show of its time.
Was that also the show where is it John Denver showed up and played with the gang, or was that a special movie?
That was he may have appeared as a guest on the show, but maybe you're thinking of, they did a Christmas special in 1979 called John Denver and the Muppets, A Christmas Together, and that might come around later on in the show.
Stay tuned. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Ken, what do you got for your recurrent events news story?
All right. My recurrent event news story. Chad, we couldn't let 2025 end without having a Jaws story. So we're recording, this is December 18th. Starting tomorrow, December 19th through January 18th, you can order a physical copy of the re-release of the Nintendo game of Jaws. It's getting a release on the Switch and the PS5. So there's going to be 2 physical editions. The standard retro edition is going to be $35, and the deluxe, the bigger boat edition, is going to be available for $100. Now, the difference between the retro edition and the bigger boat edition is that in the bigger boat edition will also come with a physical CD of the game soundtrack, a keychain, and the one thing that I'm looking forward to is a pixelated shark lamp. So in both versions also will include an original and enhanced version of the 1987 game. So I think tomorrow I'm going to be going on here. It's going to be returning as a limited run game. So you can go over to their website and pre-order it starting tomorrow, the 19th. So I'm going to be definitely going over there, and I'm going to pre-order that bigger boat edition, man, because I want that lamp.
Yeah, I see that lamp, man. It's very cool. I
Yeah.
also like the enamel pin that comes with it. It's the sign that says the beach was closed, you know?
Right.
I love the cover art of the game. It reminds me of the 87 LJN version from NES.
Yeah.
Of course, no longer LJN. You said Limited Run Entertainment is behind this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, you as the Jaws guy, I knew this was right up your alley for sure.
Yeah. As soon as I saw this story pop up on somewhere on my feed, I was like, man, I'm going to take that and run with it and put that for my recurrent event. Cause yeah, I'm kind of excited for this. The game was decent back in the day. It was okay, but all this extra stuff that comes with the bigger boat edition, man, I want all that stuff.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what your memories were of the game back in the day, if you had played it or had a chance to own it back in the day.
I didn't own it, but I did play it. I think a cousin or two had it in their house for the Nintendo, and I do remember playing it, and I'll play it from time to time on one of my video game emulators that I have on my computer, so I'll go over there and hit it up every now and again.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. Yeah, absolutely. Let's end 2025 with as much Jaws content as we can, and one more ain't gonna hurt us.
No.
Well, good stories, man, on both sides.
Right, you too.
All right, Ken. Well, let's get into the Christmas spirit and begin our 2025 Christmas grab bag episode. We've got a slew of topics here. As per the norm with the grab bag edition, we're going to reach into the bag and see what we pulled out. So we are going to kick off our show with our first segment. First segment's going to be the underrated Christmas movie segment. So I brought this up to you, Ken, a few months ago, and of course we've had plenty of time to think about our selections, and I wanted to get your thoughts on what you think is what you consider a Christmas movie that may not get the love that maybe some of the other ones get. So give us your pick for an underrated Christmas movie that you want to bring up for today's episode.
Okay, so my underrated Christmas movie that I'm going to bring up tonight is a movie that came out December 21st, 1994, and it's called Mixed Nuts. Now, this stars Steve Martin, Rita Wilson, Juliette Lewis, Adam Sandler, and Liv Schreiber. So I'll just kind of go through a little synopsis of what the movie is about. Philip, played by Steve Martin, manages Lifesavers, a crisis hotline in Venice Beach, California, with his colleagues Catherine and Mrs. Munchnick. It's Christmas Eve and the hotline is facing eviction due to unpaid rent. The staff are eccentric and the situation is chaotic, with each dealing with their personal issues. The situation escalates as various quirky characters enter the hotline's orbit. These include Gracie, played by Juliette Lewis, a pregnant woman, her boyfriend Felix, a struggling artist, and Louie, played by Adam Sandler, an odd neighbor who writes songs. Go figure. And also a transvestite named Chris, played by Liv Schreiber, also makes an appearance, adding to the night's bizarre tapestry. The staff must balance their personal dramas with the needs of the callers. As the night progresses, misunderstandings and mishaps abound. Felix, mistaken for a cat after overdosing on animal tranquilizers, hides in a Christmas tree while the threat of a local serial strangler looms in the background. The staff's own vulnerabilities and insecurities lead to comical and sometimes poignant interactions. In the midst of the chaos, Catherine finally confesses her feelings for Philip, and he reciprocates. Gracie goes into labor and gives birth in the lifesaver's office, surrounded by the oddball characters who have converged there throughout the night. The crisis hotline isn't just saving others' lives, it is also being saved by its own Christmas miracle. The film concludes with a heartwarming scene reminiscent of a nativity, as the newborn baby brings a sense of hope and renewal to the group. Despite the absurdity and darkness of the night, the characters find connection and perhaps even a little bit of Christmas spirit. So I was just scrolling through underrated Christmas movies and I saw this pop up. And in 1994, I was in the military and I remember going to see this movie in the theaters. I think what drew me to it was that Adam Sandler was in it. So he was in his early years of SNL, and I thought, that's what drew me to go see it. And I haven't really seen it much since then. I tried to find it streaming, but it was nowhere to be streaming. But I went on IMDb and watched about 10 different clips they had from the movie, and then it kind of started coming back to me. So, yeah, it's, if you like your little 90s comedies, it's Steve Martin, Adam Sandler's in it. It's a pretty nice little watch if you ever get a chance to check it out.
Yeah, and directed by the great Nora Ephron, who has a load of credits to her resume, including When Harry Met Sally and Sleepless in Seattle, You've Got Mail, and a lot of others. So, yeah, and a star-studded cast, I would say.
Yeah, for sure. Steve Martin, Rita Wilson, Tom Hanks' wife, Juliette Lewis, Adam Sandler, Liv Schreiber. I mean, yeah, man, they were all pretty young, except for Steve Martin back in the, mid-90s. So, yeah, some young actors, and it's a nice little watch.
Yeah, cool. And what does IMDb give it?
I don't know what IMDb gives it, but I went on Rotten Tomatoes, and the critic tomato meter is only 16%, but the audience popcorn meter is 47%. So, not the greatest, but, I liked the little 90s comedies, and it's got a little bit of a Christmas flavor in it as well. So, yeah, go check that one out.
All right. Well, I'm going to give my underrated Christmas movie, and this is a movie that I remember seeing when it came out, not in the theater, but when it was released on DVD, a little bit newer. It's going to be 2008, and my Christmas movie, I have to watch it every year along with my wife, is called Four Christmases.
Okay.
It stars Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon. Have you seen this before?
I think I've only seen it one time, but I remember liking it pretty good. So, yeah, that's a good pick.
There's not many movies that I actually audibly laugh at, but this one, as many times as I see it, it just warms my heart. 2008, you've got Vince Vaughn, who kind of had a little bit of a career resurgence in the mid 2000s. He was in some of the bro comedies like Old School.
Yeah.
And,
Wedding
Crashers. And, so he's, and then he kind of became, I think Hollywood tried to make him sort of a leading man in terms of see what he can do with a rom-com. And this one is a holiday rom-com. It also stars opposite him is Reese Witherspoon, who is Kate, and they are a couple who intentionally dodge their families every year by pretending to do charity work abroad while secretly vacationing somewhere tropical. But this time, a TV news crew exposes them at the airport, and all their families see them on TV.
Yeah.
Now, the catch is that each of them have divorced parents, so instead of having to go to one awkward holiday visit, they get roped into 4 Christmases in a single day. And this is where the hilarity starts to ensue.
Right.
So they bounce from house to house. They start with Brad, Vince Vaughn's dad, who's played by the great Robert Duvall. And he visits his overly macho brothers, and they basically treat Brad like a tackling dummy. And it's very funny, a lot of funny bits, a lot of funny one-liners in that. And then they start the next trip over to Kate's mom's house, and she's forced to relive some of her awkward childhood memories. She ends up stuck in a children's bounce house for her troubles. Then they go to Christmas 3 and 4, which is Brad's mom and Kate's dad, and all of a sudden some old issues start to bubble up. Basically issues about commitment, because they're not married, they're just dating at the time.
Right.
And of course they have always thought about kids, and they've been very adamant on not having kids, but during the trips to each of their families' homes, they realize they've been avoiding the real conversation just as much as they've been avoiding their families. But in the end, it's got a real heartwarming touch to the story. They survive the holiday chaos, and the chaos actually brings them closer as a couple. And they decide that maybe settling down isn't so bad, even if they still have to lie to their families about it. It's a fast, chaotic holiday comedy about family dysfunction, relationship growth, and the emotional endurance test that is Christmas. Starring Robert Duvall, Jon Favreau, Tim McGraw, Sissy Spacek, Dwight Yoakam, Mary Steenburgen, and Jon Voight, along with Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon. So it's one of me and my wife's favorites. I don't see it get a lot of mention in a lot of, when people talk about some of the greats, but I'm going to throw it as one of my underrated Christmas movies.
Yeah, that's a good pick, man. Like I said, I've only seen it one time. I might have to do a rewatch of that coming up here. But that's another movie, a star-studded cast. And yeah, man, that's a good pick. And you're right, you don't really hear that one mentioned a whole lot for Christmas. But yeah, that's a good one.
All right, well, there you have it. Go and seek these 2 movies, and maybe you can catch them somewhere. And let us know what you think of these 2 movies, and maybe mention your own. Maybe you've got ones that you would throw into your underrated film list. So throw us a line over there on Instagram and let us know what you think.
All right, Chad, we're back here rolling into segment number 2 of our Christmas grab bag episode. And for this segment, we're going to be talking about 2 holiday TV specials, a live action and an animated. So you did the segments, you picked the segments for the show, and this is going to be our second one. So I'll go first with my holiday TV special, a live action. And this episode is coming from The Dukes of Hazzard from December 19th, 1980. It has a 1-hour runtime, and it is called The Great Santa Claus Chase. It's the Christmas episode of the CBS series The Dukes of Hazzard, produced and aired as the 10th episode of its 3rd season. And this came on right after the network's premiere of A Snow White Christmas. Like I said, December 19th, 1980. I'll just go into the little synopsis of what the show entailed. Boss Hogg, who isn't in a Scrooge-like mood, hires a trio of criminals named Willie, Russ, and Hank to hijack a truckload of already paid-for Christmas trees that Bo and Luke are bringing to Hazard for needy families, and then pin the blame on the Dukes, of course. The scheme involves Russ and Hank stealing the trees from Bo and Luke at gunpoint, then Willie disguised as a clergyman giving Bo and Luke a lift into town, and then telling them they forgot their $500 down payment on the trees. With the town beginning to turn against the Dukes and Cooter race to find the trees and return Hazard's Christmas spirit. Willie and his 2 men plot to double-cross Boss Hogg by taking more than their payment due on the trees, by breaking into the safe at the Boar's Nest, while each one is dressed as Santa Claus. Bo and Luke, with some help from Cooter, decide to take back the trees and have a little fun confusing Roscoe and Cletus while delivering the trees dressed as Santa Claus. It takes a turn toward forgiveness and fellowship as the Dukes and Cooter invite Roscoe and Cletus to their Christmas Eve gathering. Boss comes in later, reformed after having read A Christmas Carol. Now, I couldn't find this streaming anywhere unless I just missed it, but like there was a thing on YouTube that had some clips of the show, so I watched that. And, you know, your average Dukes of Hazzard little Christmas episode, not too much high in as stakes are concerned, you know, with stolen Christmas trees. But it's, you know, Dukes of Hazzard, I love the show. It was always fun watching Bo and Luke run around in the General Lee, and, you know, Boss Hogg always trying his little antics to blame the Dukes for something. So, yeah, it's a Christmas special, The Great Santa Claus Chase.
Sometimes you have to do your damnedest to try to shoehorn some sort of Christmas theme into a show that's about running from the law, you know?
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, man, like I said, I love the Dukes. One of my favorite shows as a kid, so there you go.
Yeah, and listeners of the last episode will know you brought up the Duke's toy from, was it Hardy? No, McDonald's.
McDonald's, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, pairs well with now your pick of the Christmas episode of the Dukes of Hazzard. That's funny.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, well, I'm going to go with my live action pick. Now, I'm going to go a little even old school than you. I'm going to kick it all the way back to 1969.
Dang, okay.
One of the iconic TV shows of all time in early television. We're going to go with the Brady Bunch.
Yeah, all right.
Season 1, episode 12,
okay.
Titled The Voice of Christmas. It aired on December 19th, 1969. You can find this streaming for free on Pluto. It recently Parade.com, came out with an article about how this episode was critical in the success of the Brady Bunch, and a little backstory. So, you know, this was the first season of the Brady Bunch, and prior to this episode in December of 1969, the ratings for the show had been pretty low. And when this episode aired, the episode had major ratings, and Chris Knight, who played Peter on the show, mentioned on the Parade.com article that you can find on their website, he says, "The Voice of Christmas episode sort of got us that first pickup. We had a pilot and 13 episodes, and 11 more episodes were the backside of that season. But to get that pickup, one had to be confident from the ratings that occurred from September through February, and the ratings, I guess, in December were suggestive to those in power that this show should get a mid-season pickup and not just disappear after 13 weeks. So anyway, it's a very wholesome episode. Just a quick synopsis. You know, we're only 12 episodes in, so, you know, America is just now learning who the Bradys were. You know, We're only 12 episodes in, so they're preparing for their first Christmas together as a blended family. Carol has been chosen to sing a solo at church, "O Come All Ye Faithful," and to celebrate, Mike buys her a tape recorder so she can keep a copy of her performance. But disaster strikes when Carol gets a case of laryngitis due to vocal strain from practicing.
Right.
And the doctors say that she needs complete rest and silence. So the worry is that she's not going to be able to perform on Christmas. And this creates, of course, the wholesome dilemma that the family has. They're wondering what they can do. The kids want to cancel Christmas until Alice steps in and makes them realize that the true meaning of Christmas. Cindy, the youngest daughter, goes to Santa and asks Santa for her mom's voice back. And Santa, unwilling to give her a negative answer, says that yes, her mom's voice will be back by Christmas, which kind of frustrates the dad because the dad sees no way that Carol's going to have her voice back by Christmas.
Yeah. Right.
But of course, like a lot of Brady Bunch episodes, in the end, the family finds a way to have a happy moment. Carol gets her voice back and sings her rendition of "O Come All Ye Faithful." And of course, a Christmas miracle was had.
Of course.
But it's a very wholesome episode of, early on in the Brady Bunch run. You learn that, the family has a problem and, the love of the family or circumstances happen so that, always a happy ending is had. So anyway, I, didn't watch a whole lot of Brady Bunch. Of course, it was out of syndication by the time I was born, but it's one of those shows that I would catch on reruns, and I never saw this episode until last night.
Okay.
And I thought it was a fun episode and a great way to kick it off, and then a cool backstory about how this episode really helped the powers that be renew for other seasons. So
Right.
Anyway, go check it out. Episode 12, season 1, The Voice of Christmas.
And how's that for coincidence, Chad? You said that aired December 19th, 1969?
Mm-hmm.
My episode, The Dukes, aired December 19th, 1980. So
Wow.
There you go.
Years.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that's one I've probably seen it over the years watching episodes, but yeah, I might have to go search that one out too and watch that one.
Now this is pretty much considered the only Christmas episode of the Brady Bunch, but later on in the 80s, a TV movie was made called A Very Brady Christmas.
Ah, yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah. And but this one was kind of like their inaugural Christmas episode. And I think it ended up being their only Christmas episode, but
Okay. All right, well that's a good pick. So I'll move on to my animated holiday, not a special per se, but a Christmas episode.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to come from the very popular and classic cartoon Batman, the animated series. So this episode is called Christmas with the Joker. It originally aired on November 13th, 1992. This is kind of a short and sweet. So in this episode, the Joker escapes Arkham Asylum on Christmas Eve and has a special Christmas plan for Batman and Robin. Kidnapping Commissioner Gordon, Summer Gleason, and Harvey Bullock, he threatens to kill them at midnight. But of course, things are never easy with the Joker, and he sets a few disasters in motion to keep Batman and Robin busy that Christmas night. The Joker in this episode has clothes. His attire is based on Perry Como. He has like one of those Christmas sweaters and, pants. And he also performs in this episode the famous kid song, Jingle Bells, Batman Smells. So, your typical Batman, the animated series episode, the Joker's always getting into something, but this one just happens to take place on Christmas Eve. And it was a cool episode. I went back and watched it. It was pretty fun. I love that cartoon, the animated series. So, yeah, if you have time, go check this one out. Christmas with the Joker.
Very cool, man. Yeah, you were a big fan of the animated series of Batman, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was 18 when it came out, but
Yeah.
This is one I actually did watch back when I was in my early 20s because, I'm a big Batman fan, and, yeah, I was really into this show back in the day.
Cool. And is this streaming anywhere? Do you know?
HBO Max, Batman the Animated Series, all the seasons are on there, so, yeah, go over there and check it out.
Cool. All right, well, my pick for an animated series, I went with something that, a show that's decided to start off their entire run with season 1, episode 1 with their Christmas episode, and I'm referring to The Simpsons.
Ah.
Episode 1, season 1, called Simpsons Roasting on an Open Fire, the one that started it all.
Wow, so the first episode of the show was a Christmas episode.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
What a definitely taking a chance there. I mean, usually most shows are going to work up to that,
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. I did not know that.
Yeah, but December 17th, 1989. So we just came off of, what would that be?
It'll be the 36th this year. Yeah.
Yeah. So, now the Simpsons were featured a few years prior on the Tracy Ullman show.
Yeah.
which I have no recollection of that show and seeing The Simpsons on there. But this episode kicked off the longest running animated American TV series in history. Currently in its 35th season, the show starts off where a school recital where fifth grade Bart Simpson sings an alternate version to Jingle Bells. Actually, Jingle Bells, Batman Smells.
Wow, look at that, man.
Yeah. Lisa asks Santa for a pony for the third straight year. Homer tries to impress the kids with his Christmas lights, a la Clark Griswold, only to be outdone by neighbor Ned Flanders.
Right.
Bart tries to get a mother tattoo at the mall, only to be stopped by Marge. She takes him to a place to get the tattoo removed and uses all of the saved Christmas money to remove Bart's tattoo. At the same time, Homer's boss announces that there's going to be no Christmas bonus this year at work. So I'm seeing a very akin to some of the tropes of Christmas Vacation. You see that?
The same year too.
Yeah,
1989.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't know if that was intentional or
I don't know
what, but Homer decides to take a job as a mall Santa to earn some extra money. Bart accidentally finds out that Homer, his dad, is Santa. Him and Homer go to collect Homer's first paycheck. His first paycheck was $13 after taxes. Homer's friend Barney convinces Homer that he and Bart should go to the dog racing track and bet on a dog named Whirlwind to win the race.
Yeah.
Apparently the odds are very good. When Homer gets to the race, he sees a newcomer dog called Santa's Little Helper.
Yeah.
And puts money on Santa's Little Helper to win. Unfortunately, Santa's Little Helper comes in last place. And the dog's owner then disowns the dog. And the dog goes and runs up to Homer and Bart with no money to buy anything for Christmas. They bring the dog home. Homer is honest with his family about his Christmas bonus, but it pales in the comparison in the end because the family's so happy with their new dog, Santa's Little Helper, and that's how the episode ends. So, a very cool and nostalgic way to kick off something that nobody knew would be all these years later would still be in production. Yeah. So I thought it was a good pick. This episode kicked off, of course, what would be and still is a groundbreaking animated series that revived primetime animation. Not since the Flintstones 23 years earlier had a show been that successful in primetime. And in a decade that saw the typical American family defined by shows like The Cosby Show, Family Ties, Growing Pains, The Simpsons was a stark, relatable alternative that portrayed a struggling to get by, oftentimes dysfunctional family, but in the end displayed the love that kept the family going. The first episode also sets the tone for the trademark satire that remains a huge part of the storytelling of The Simpsons. So anyway, just an iconic show. I brought up last episode, of course, the toys at Burger King.
Yeah.
In 1991.
Right.
So that would have been, or maybe 1990 actually. So,
I think 90, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, Simpsons were right on the heels of 89. I mean, we consider it a 90s sitcom, largely. And, I just thought it was cool. I did not know before my research that this was episode 1 of season 1 of The Simpsons.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. And I always thought that Santa's Little Helper came along later in the run of the series, but right in the first episode. So I learned something new.
You can catch all the episodes of The Simpsons. I think it's on Disney Plus, where it lives, and Hulu, and things like that. But that's my pick for an animated Christmas show. Ken, I got to tell you, man, we can do a whole episode down the road on just fun Christmas episodes, because it seems like there's a lot to choose from.
Oh, yeah.
And it seems like any show that wants to be taken seriously needs to have some sort of Christmas. It can be funny, it can be sentimental, it can be serious, it can be heartwarming, but
Yeah.
you gotta have a Christmas episode somewhere in your run, do you think?
Oh yeah, and plus some of the shows too even had multiple Christmas episodes. So yeah, there's a lot to pick from out there, man, as far as TV shows go with Christmas episodes. But yeah,
I'm curious, did you consider picking anything else for your live action?
um, I thought about looking at anything from like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I know there was a few Christmas episodes from that show. I was just, to be honest, I was just kind of scrolling the internet of TV shows that
Yeah.
had Christmas episodes, and I came across that Dukes of Hazzard one, and I'd be like, oh man, I want to put that one in for the show. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, like you said, you could pick so many.
Yeah, Fresh Prince was one that came up with multiple Christmas episodes, talking about the 90s, Home Improvement,
Yeah.
Roseanne. I actually almost considered picking Married with Children.
Right.
It's a funny one too if you happen to check out the Married with Children Christmas episode.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
there are tons, man, ranging, like I said, I picked 69, but you can go all the way to modern times with any sort of Christmas-like episode. So
Right.
this is probably one of my favorite segments of the show.
Yeah, this is a good one. I'm glad you decided to go with it as one of the segments.
You're tuned in to the Retro Resurgence podcast, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Discover the legendary Q106.5 in your car, on your smart speaker, on your phone. Browse to Q1065.com. 80s, 90s. This is a radio station with a vibe. Download our app or listen online. Search at Q1065 Radio on social media. The Q is your favorite radio station. Discover Q106.5 and hear the 80s and 90s hits on the radio station with personality. Q106.5.
All right, Ken. Well, we're back halfway through our show, our Christmas grab bag episode 31. And what would a grab bag episode be without a rousing round of Christmas Jeopardy? Now, listeners of the show, Ken is undefeated, 2-0 in Jeopardy games here played on the show. So Ken's looking to extend his streak. I'm looking to get one here on the board. Ken, this is one of our favorite segments. So you think you're ready to defend your crown?
Yeah, I'm ready. I've been looking forward to doing this one all day long, Chad. Yeah, I won the summer edition Jeopardy, and I just won the Halloween edition of Jeopardy a couple months ago. And yeah, Chad, we're looking for you maybe to get on the W side here of the Jeopardy. So I'm ready, man.
My motto right now is a third time's a charm. So
Right.
let's get to it, man. So you know how we do it here, listeners. We got questions from 100 to 500 and a final Jeopardy wager that will decide the winner. Ken, you want to start off with your $100 question to me?
Yeah, and Chad, you're the official scorekeeper of Retro Resurgence Jeopardy.
Okay.
All right, I'm ready. Chad, for 100, according to Austrian folklore, not Australian, Austrian, this horned creature kidnaps kids who are naughty during Christmas.
Who is Krampus?
Correct.
Yes, on the board.
All right. I was hoping you were going to get it because I was like, man, hopefully that's not too hard for a 100.
Right.
All right.
All right, Ken. Well, thanks for the lob there. Hopefully
There you
this
go.
one will be one for you.
I gave you a snowball from Wisconsin.
All righty. Well, a snowball here from South Carolina. Your $100 question. In the classic Chipmunk Christmas song, what item does Alvin say he wants?
What is a hula hoop?
Correct.
Oh, okay. I know they mentioned a couple other things in the song. I was like, oh man, I hope I don't botch
Yeah.
this one. All right.
Yes, the line, me, I want a hula hoop, Alvin.
Right.
So, you're on the board.
All right, Chad, you're 200. In the Christmas classic, A Christmas Story, Ralphie receives this grade for his What I Want for Christmas theme.
Now, is this a letter grade or number grade?
Letter grade.
Okay, repeat the question one more time.
Okay. In the classic movie A Christmas Story, Ralphie receives this grade for his What I Want for Christmas theme.
I don't know if this is a trick question or not, but what is F?
Incorrect.
What is a D?
Nope.
What?
What is C plus?
Oh, C plus.
Because remember, he gets it and opens it, and then he's like, C plus, and then he looks up and his teacher is dressed as the Wicked Witch and his mom is like a jester and they're laughing at him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew he wasn't happy with it, but I guess teacher was giving
Right.
him the benefit of the doubt. So, strike out on that.
All right.
All right, Ken. Well, your $200 question.
Okay.
And you know how we like to do things here. So your question goes, in the movie, The Christmas Story, what task could the old man do faster than a jackrabbit on a date? What task could he do faster than a jackrabbit on a date?
Oh. What is change a flat tire?
Good question, but incorrect.
Ah.
This would be the other answer if you didn't know the real answer. The real answer is fix the furnace.
Okay. Man, I figured it was either something to do with the furnace, or did he say that while he was going out to change the flat?
Right.
Dang, so the $200 are posing to be hard for this round, but all right. And both Christmas Story.
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of ironic, yeah.
Yep. All right, Chad, moving on to 300. Most famously heard in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, the song That Spirit of Christmas plays while Clark is locked in his attic. Who sings this song?
Oh, Ken, I absolutely, one of my favorite songs. Who is Ray Charles?
You are correct, sir.
Man, this song, this scene is one of my favorite scenes in Christmas history.
Yeah.
Film, man. It's so cool to see him looking at the reel-to-reels of his childhood, and he's trapped up there, and of course then his family comes home, somebody pulls the string and he falls out.
Right. Yep.
But
yeah, I just watched this maybe last weekend. We sat down and watched it, and I always love watching this movie. Yeah.
Right. Now I gotta give a little correction from the last question. I said fix the furnace. I would have also accepted replace a fuse.
Okay, that was another one that popped into my mind, but okay.
Yeah, so I would have also taken that, but change the tire, which was a very cool scene in the movie.
Yeah.
That was not said, but fix the furnace, replace the fuse. Either one would have accepted that one.
Okay, so Chad, you got the 300.
Yeah. All right, Ken, your $300 question.
All right.
Which branch of the military runs the popular Christmas charity Toys for Tots?
Okay, I think I know this one. Who are the Marines?
Correct.
Ah, all right. Whew. I was like, man, I better get this one.
Yeah, man, you as the Navy man.
Yeah.
I knew you wasn't going to guess Navy, but I said,
No.
well, you got four others that it could be, but
Right.
yeah, the Marines, very successful program, the Toys for Tots, that really good nonprofit there. So.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Well, Ken, we're tied.
We're tied going into the 400.
Yep.
All right. On Christmas Eve, this organization tracks Santa Claus.
Who is NORAD?
Correct.
Yes.
The North American Aerospace Defense Command, NORAD. Yep, you're right.
Nice.
All right. Damn it, I thought I was going to stump you on that one, maybe.
Yeah, I, pre-internet, of course, listening to back in the days, I imagine listening to the radio and hearing
Yeah.
interrupt the Christmas music to
Right.
give stats on Santa, man.
For sure.
Probably every kid's dream back in the old days. But
Oh, yeah.
all right, Ken, your $400 question.
All right.
Said to derive from a tradition in Germany, what food item is hidden in some Christmas trees in America in which the first person to find this item would get a special gift or to be able to open up the first gift?
So it's a food item?
Yes, that's hidden in trees that's said to derive from a tradition in Germany. And now some folks in America observe this tradition.
Gosh. What is banana bread? I have no idea.
Incorrect. The answer is, what is a pickle?
A pickle?
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't know. I didn't know if you had ever done that in your growing up or with your kids. Apparently, you know, they make these glass pickle ornaments, but the tradition apparently comes from Germany, and people used to hide a pickle in the tree, and you'd find the pickle, and of course, it's sort of like a game. So I remember my mom had a glass ornament pickle, and we did it once or twice, but it never really stuck. Yeah.
Okay. That's a new one to me, man. You always learn something new here on the Retro Resurgence, folks. That's new to me. Yeah. You got me on that one.
All right. Well, going into $500 question, what you got for me?
All right. Now I'm looking at it. You'll probably get it, but I just watched this movie last night. Kevin watches this gangster movie in Home Alone.
What is Angels with Filthy Souls?
Correct.
You're going to give it to me?
Oh, you got it right. Yeah.
Okay. I thought that
is the correct answer. Angels with Filthy Souls.
Holy crap.
Damn it.
I didn't know if I could, I knew the Filthy Souls, but I was like, Angels, yes. Dude, a classic scene in Home Alone. One of the best.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, I just watched this last night, and yeah, you got it.
All right, Ken. Well, you're going to really need this question to stay alive for Final Jeopardy.
Yeah.
But your $500 question.
All right.
In the 1966 television special, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, what monster movie legend did the voice for the Grinch?
Aha. All right.
He thinks he knows it.
Who is Boris Karloff?
You are correct.
Yeah. Frankenstein.
Coming in the clutch.
Oh, I needed that one.
Yes, you did.
All right.
All right. So let's tally up these scores.
All right.
So Chad has 1,300. Ken has 900. The difference, we got exactly the same questions wrong and correct, except I got that $400 when you did.
Yeah. Yep.
It was the Christmas banana bread that you said instead of the
yeah. I had to come up with something, man.
All right. So going into Final Jeopardy, Ken 900, Chad 1,300.
All right.
So let's place our wagers.
All right. I will wager 500.
Okay. And I will wager 300.
Okay.
So, all right, Ken. This is going to be my gift to you. Now, I don't know if this is going to be a hard question for you, but when you hear the theme, this is going to be something near and dear to your heart. So, Final Jeopardy, Ken, to stay alive. The U.S. Postal Service issued the first Christmas stamp in what year?
Oh, my gosh.
To the mailman, a question about the U.S. Postal Service, something that he does every day in December.
Yeah.
What year was the first Christmas stamp issued?
Well, this is going to be a complete guess, Chad. I'm going to say, what is 1945?
Incorrect.
I knew it. All right.
You went a little too early there. The answer,
Too early.
1962.
Oh, okay.
So
I thought something maybe around the World War II era or something, maybe they did it.
Yeah, you could guess, but all right. Well, that puts you down to 400, which means this last question, whether I get it right or wrong, is irrelevant, but go ahead and ask it
Right.
anyway. Let's
All
see
right.
what happens.
Little Debbie Christmas tree cakes were first unveiled in this year.
Ooh, Christmas tree cakes. Shout out to Mickey.
Yeah.
Wow, it's funny. We did both a Final Jeopardy with a year.
With a year, yeah.
I'll tell you, man, we don't
Telling
make
you,
this,
Chad.
we don't talk about these things.
No,
prior.
we do not. At all.
Now, I just devoured a box of Little Debbie Christmas tree cakes, and one thing I found interesting is on the back of the box, and Mickey might know this. On the back of the box, they have the designs of the boxes for like in the history of the little tree cakes. And that first box they showed, which was very cool and retro, I want to say it was like it was sometime in the 80s. So I'm just going to venture a guess and say 1984.
Ooh, incorrect, but very close.
Was it 83?
No, 85.
85.
So,
I knew
regardless.
I knew they weren't that old.
Yeah, okay.
But 85. Well, Ken, that drops you to 1,000, but it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Finally squeaked a victory here in Retro Resurgence.
All right. Chad is finally on the winner board for 2025 Christmas Jeopardy.
My goodness, I just want to thank all my sponsors and the team here.
Yeah.
And Team Chad just had to really go on a limb there with some of those answers, and I'm just glad Ken doesn't know about the Christmas pickle. That's all.
Yeah, I don't even think I've ever heard of it. Great game, man.
Yeah, man, always fun.
Yep. All right, Chad, we're back rolling on with the Christmas grab bag episode here. Our next segment is going to be what you called the Toy Craze Hall of Fame. So we are going to give one toy or toy line that people went nuts for back in the day that was something very popular that people, beat each other up for in the stores trying to get. So what do you got for us for your pick?
Yeah, man, I was definitely thinking of you as the toy dude on the show when it came to this segment. I know, you can't talk about Christmas without talking about some toys.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, let's talk about some crazier times back in the day. We're going to rewind it back to 1996, and this may be the most famous crazy toy of all time. But it was a simpler time when our biggest national crisis was a red puppet that giggled when you poked it. And, of course, I'm talking about the infamous Tickle Me Elmo.
Yeah.
It hit stores in July 1996. The company Tyco put out about 400,000 units, which was totally fine until Rosie O'Donnell showed it on her show. One of her, had a top talk show at the time in October. Yep. And apparently America collectively said, yes, that is the plastic noise box I'm willing to fist fight a stranger for. After that, man, all bets were off. It wasn't just the tired parents roaming the toy aisles anymore. Scalpers and opportunists entered the chat. Classified ads exploded. People were listing Elmos for thousands of dollars. One listing went as high as $5,000, all for a $30 toy. Even the mob got into this. It was said that John Gotti Jr., the son of the famous mobster, supposedly bought an $8,000 case of Elmos from a Toys R Us in New York. So when the mob starts panic buying children's toys, the world is trying to tell you something. And even the New York Police Department couldn't escape the madness either. they confiscated a Tickle Me Elmo from an unlicensed street vendor and locked it up in storage. A few days later, poof, Elmo's gone, vanished. Internal Affairs actually launched an investigation, and even Mayor Rudy Giuliani had to address it. Imagine being the mayor of New York and have to answer questions like, "Sir, where is the Elmo?" And then, of course, you would see on TV came the brawls. 2 people got arrested fighting over an Elmo in Chicago. Delivery drivers reported people trying to block their trucks.
Yeah.
All for a toy that sounds, to be honest, sounds a little possessed when it laughs.
Right.
One of the craziest incidents, according to Wikipedia, happened in Canada. A Walmart clerk named Robert Waller was unpacking a shipment during a Midnight Madness sale. He looks up and he sees 300 people silently watching him like he's about to announce the winner of the Hunger Games. The moment he pulls out the first Elmo, the crowd stampedes him. He gets trampled and ends up with a concussion, a broken rib, and injuries everywhere. But at the peak of the madness, Muncie, Indiana, a man literally traded his 1987 Ford Escort for a Tickle Me Elmo. An entirely functioning vehicle for a plush toy that giggles. So, how did Elmo become king of the toy aisle? Well, according to the Houston Chronicle, toy inventor Ron Dubrin got inspired by 2 kids in a park one day who were tickling each other into hysterics. His first attempt was Tickles the Chimp, which shockingly nobody wanted. And then they also considered a Tickle Me Tasmanian Devil, but eventually they landed on Elmo, the soft, cute, and cuddly character from Sesame Street. Elmo, of course, wasn't the only toy in 1996 for the older kids. That was the year of the Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
But for the younger kids, it was all about Tickle Me Elmo. So, but the twist here is that the craze actually boosted the popularity of Sesame Street. In the 90s, the show had a lot of competition from other kids programming. But after the Elmo explosion, the producers leaned in and made Elmo an even bigger star on Sesame Street, almost just as big as Big Bird. And honestly, he's still riding that high today. I mean, Elmo's big and comes to infants and toddlers and young children.
Right.
So, I'm definitely, kids of a certain age demographic aren't too far removed from the crazy days of Tickle Me Elmo. I mean, I was just old enough to know, about Santa and, how mom and dad really were the ones behind that. And, it was, crazy to listen to the news and hear about Tickle Me Elmo. So what are your memories of that time frame?
96. Yeah. I was just getting out of the military. I was 22. The only thing that really stands out to me is just remember seeing the commercials, and I do remember seeing them in the stores, and I think maybe some of my younger cousins probably had them at the time. To be honest, I thought they were just pretty annoying as a 22-year-old, sitting around somebody's house and hearing that thing go off, every 10 seconds. So yeah, that's about my experience with it. At the time, I didn't have any kids yet or anything. And yeah, just, very popular. And, that put Elmo, like you said, up there with all the other famous Muppets. But yeah, to me, it was more annoying than anything. So that's my experience with it.
When was your first child born?
Not until 2002.
Yeah, so, had you decided to start your family 5 years earlier, you might have been in on this.
Right. Oh, probably would have been, yeah.
Over there at KB Toys trying to wrestle one away from somebody.
Yeah, for sure.
We're certainly in different times nowadays, but yeah, man, craziness. And I know that's not the only one. So, Ken, why don't you tell us your pick for the Toy Craze Hall of Fame?
All right, so we're going to go to 1985, and this is kind of not, I won't say similar to the Tickle Me Elmo, but kind of maybe in the same genre.
Mm-hmm.
So we have, teddy bears have been popular gifts for a long time. But in 1985, a new wrinkle was added. This teddy could actually talk. So I'm talking about Teddy Ruxpin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So high tech for the time, Teddy Ruxpins are selling faster than manufacturer Worlds of Wonder could produce them. Thanks to cassettes that were inserted into the bear's back, Teddy Ruxpin, of course, could talk, could tell stories about the fantasy land of Grundo, complete with synchronized eye and mouth movements. So I think that was the real buzz about that. You put the tape in the back and then his eyes and mouth would move to, the stories that it was telling. 85, I was 11. I wasn't into that kind of thing, but as I said before, I had some younger cousins that had them, and I thought they were, pretty cool. I don't have any specific, numbers here as far as how many they sold and all that, but I know that they were even still popular going into the next Christmas, too, of 1986. So, yeah, the Teddy Ruxpin, man, was everywhere. I do remember that.
Yeah, and perfect, because a few years earlier you had, which was also a consideration of mine, you had the Cabbage Patch Kids, but
yeah,
this was sort of that idea and mixed with the technology and electronics of the 80s. And, yeah, man, Teddy Ruxpin, man, what a time to be alive.
And I do remember being, I was a little older and I had some cousins that were a little bit older too. And we were like, man, what would happen if we put this Van Halen tape in the back and played it? And dude, man, the tape worked but the eyes and the mouth moved really fast because the song was fast paced. And so that was pretty fun to mess around with too.
Yeah, I wonder what kind of technology it had. It had to be matching the tempo of the song or something.
Yeah, I don't know, but it was kind of fun.
Yeah, a little bit ahead of its time in terms of innovation,
Sure. Yeah.
Lord, a good thing we didn't do 10 years later. We didn't put a CD in a bear,
Yeah, no kidding.
It would have skipped the whole time.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh man, Teddy Ruxpin and Elmo.
There you go.
We're gonna throw them in our inaugural Toy Craze Hall of Fame, and
there we go.
What do you say, Ken? If we do this in 2026, let's nominate 2 other toys for next year.
Yeah, man, let's do it.
Awesome, good segment.
Yep.
Hi, my name is Teddy Ruxpin. Can you and I be friends?
Yeah.
I really enjoy talking to people. I would like you.
Teddy Ruxpin, the storytelling bear, comes with illustrated book and cassette from Worlds of Wonder.
You tip it all now. I've been tickled. Again. You did it again.
All right, Ken. Well, we're wrapping things up here on the Grab Bag episode 2025, and it's been a fun show. And let's wrap it up with going to the world of music. Nothing like the holidays and some music. You've been listening to a lot of music, I know, there on your route, right?
I have been. Yeah, I've been pumping the Christmas playlist almost every day to get me through these long days. And yeah, man, love the Christmas music.
Yeah, and listeners, I know, Ken, you're a Spotify guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm an Amazon Music guy, so what we might have to do is we're going to take our picks here. We're going to give you 10 songs, unless we match, of course, which is always bound to happen.
Always possible.
We're going to give your listeners 10 songs. We're going to go each decade. We're going to go from the 70s all the way to the 2010s, and we're just going to feature one of our songs. It may not be our favorite song, but it's a song we enjoy from each decade that was produced and written or recorded in that decade. So, Ken, you're going to start off. We're going to start you into the 70s when you were born. So let's hear your pick there for the 1970s Christmas song that you chose.
All right.
On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 12 drummers drumming, 11 numbers piping, 10 lords a-leaping, 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids a-milking, 7 swans a-swimming, 6 geese a-laying, 5 gold rings, bum, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree.
Now, Ken, you did say that this was going to rear its head again.
I told you John Denver and the Muppets was coming back. So
yes,
this is from the Christmas special from 1979. John Denver and the Muppets, A Christmas Together. So it was a TV special, and then there was also a soundtrack put out for it. And yeah, this is the 12 Days of Christmas.
Awesome, man. Yeah, the Muppets, got to have some Christmas and some Muppets, man. That's a fun pick, dude.
I was 5 in 1979, so yeah, this hit it all for me.
Well, mine's not so nostalgic when it comes to children, but I will say that because of this song, I now will never forget how to say Merry Christmas in Spanish, because here's my pick.
Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, prospero año y felicidad. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. I want to wish you a Merry.
All right.
Classic, man.
Absolutely, man. That is Jose Feliciano singing Feliz Navidad, 1970 Puerto Rican singer-songwriter. Dude, I just remember pre-internet when radio stations would play, and they still do, of course, but traditional radio stations would play all the hits, and this one was on it seemed like every hour. Not a very deep song in terms of vocabulary. There might be about 12 words in the entire song, but man, this one, it's got the upbeat, and of course, you get a little culture lesson there in Spanish, and just always a fun song that anytime I hear it, man, I'm never hitting skip on this one.
Right. Yeah, it's not Christmas until you hear this one come on the radio, and yeah, man, definitely an all-time classic. I like the song, yeah.
All right, well, let's move into the decade of the 1980s.
All right.
We love here our 80s. So, Ken, let's hear what you got for 1980s.
Yep.
I just want to say, Merry Christmas, baby. You surely treat me nice. Merry Christmas, baby. You surely treat me nice. I feel just like.
All right, so that is Merry Christmas, Baby from Bruce Springsteen. Now, the live version of that, what we just heard, was from December 28th, 1980, but then it was put on this Christmas album called A Very Special Christmas from 1987. So, yeah, I love Bruce Springsteen. He did a few Christmas songs, and I really like that one. So that's my 80s pick.
Yeah, man, the Boss had several holiday hits in that decade,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man, good pick.
All right.
All right, well, my 80s pick, it's funny, I actually debated whether to put That Spirit of Christmas by Ray Charles as my favorite.
Okay.
But my thought was that I liked the song, but I also liked the song because of the movie.
Yeah.
And I wanted to go with something that was truly just an iconic, I think is iconic. It defines a generation of song of course, you've got the Christmas feel. So my pick for 1980s, I'm sure everybody's heard it.
Yeah, man. You can't have Christmas without that one, dude.
An absolute banger. 1984's Wham! Last Christmas. It's got everything you want in Christmas. It's got promise. It's got heartache. It's got synth pop.
Yeah.
Everything about the 80s, man.
That may be the definitive Christmas song of the 80s, man, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's an all-timer. And, I mean, if we didn't have Mariah Carey, who belted one out about a decade later, you know, this one, even with her, it's still up there. You know, it's just...
Oh, yeah.
You know, you hear it all the time. It's got to be in your top 10. If it's not in your top 10, then we got an issue, you know.
Right.
But I'll have to fight people that don't think that this is a banger. So,
oh, yeah.
Anyway, not much else to be said. Everyone knows Wham! Last Christmas.
Right.
All right, Ken. Well, we're going to go down to the 1990s.
Yep.
That's my wheelhouse, but let's see what you got here.
All right.
Can't be found underneath the Christmas tree. You are the angel that's on my tree. You are my dream come true. Santa can't bring me what I need, 'cause all I want for Christmas is you. 'Cause all I want for Christmas is you.
Changing it up a little bit.
Yeah, so this is the All I Want for Christmas Is You, but not the Mariah Carey version. So I got a little bit of notes on this one.
Okay.
This is from Vince Vance and the Valiants. Say that 3 times fast. So this song first charted in early 1994 based on airplay from the 1993 Christmas season, peaking at number 55 on the Billboard Hot Country Singles and Tracks. So, and then it also charted the week of January 8th, 1994. It re-entered in December of 94, reaching a new peak of number 52 on the chart week of January 7th, 1995. In 2020, Kelly Clarkson released a version of the song in a standalone single. And then in June of 2022, Andy Stone, who portrayed Vince Vance, filed a copyright lawsuit against Mariah Carey, alleging that she exploited and made undeserved profits off of this song with her song, All I Want for Christmas Is You. But this lawsuit was dropped without prejudice in November 2022. So I think they tried to cash in on her success. I mean, her version of this song is not even close. The lyrics aren't the same. The music isn't the same. But this is a country Christmas song, and I really like this one.
Yeah, I was going to say, immediately I thought of like Country Christmas.
Yeah.
But I never heard. What's that name of that group again?
It's called Vince Vance and the Valiants, but the lead singer is definitely a woman. So the name I kind of don't get, Vince Vance, but hey, it's a good song.
Yeah, and I've heard this before, but I figured this was some chart topper, you know, pop star or country star. Like, for some reason I was thinking like that's Leanne Rimes or somebody in the 90s country era.
Right.
But Yeah, man, that's a good pick. That's a little out of left field, but I like it.
There we go. Yep. All right.
All right. Well, my decade, 1990s, we're going to go a little rock and roll. And I've heard this in many of the songs. I think it's in Home Alone. Let's just hear it and see what we got here.
All right.
All the bells are ringing out and it's Christmas all over again. Yeah, again. Long distance relatives.
So that is the familiar sound of Tom Petty and the
Yeah.
Heartbreakers, 1992, Christmas All Over Again.
Now, you said that's from Home Alone 2 or 1?
Well, I know it's in one of them. I don't remember which one.
Okay.
I think it's in Home Alone. I know I first heard it in one of those early 90 holiday movies. But
All right. Yeah, good one.
If it came out in 92, I'm going to guess it's probably Home Alone 2.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I think Home Alone might have been 1990 or 91.
Home Alone was 90.
90. So
Yeah.
yeah. But it was also on one of those compilations. You said the one with Bruce Springsteen. I think they also made another one like that very special Christmas album.
Okay. Yeah. Tom Petty, right?
Yeah, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Yeah. Good one.
Man, and one other one that puts me in good mood for the season. So.
Right.
Alrighty. Well, we're gonna get into the millennium, the 2000s, and now here's where music starts to change a little bit, and let's see what Ken picked here for the 2000s.
All right.
Chance that maybe we'll find better days. So take these words and sing out loud, 'cause everyone is forgiven now, 'cause tonight's the night the world begins again.
That sounds like the Goo Goo Dolls to me.
All right. Yeah. So not your typical Christmas song, but I had to listen to this song a few times before I finally figured it out that he's talking about the Christmas time and Christmas season. So yeah, this is from Goo Goo Dolls from 2005. It's from their album Let Love In, and it's called Better Days.
Nice. And so the lyrics are Christmas themed? Because
if you actually start the song from beginning to end and actually read along with the lyrics to this song, you'll see that it's about Christmas time. And yeah, not like I said, not your typical Christmas song, but yeah, it's a really good song, and I thought I'd throw a little something different in there from the 2000s.
Yeah, man, I like it. I'll change it up a little bit like the last pick, but man, I'm a big fan of the Goo Goo Dolls. I love their sound, and
yeah,
man, they were just I think a very underrated group.
Right, me too.
Good pick, man.
Thank you.
All right, well, I'm going to go into my 2000s pick. This one, I believe, was made for a very popular Christmas movie in the early 2000s. Let's take a listen.
Mm-hmm.
We were dreamers not so long ago, but one by one we all had to grow up when it seems the magic slipped away. We find it all again on Christmas Day. Believe in what your heart is saying. Hear the melody that's playing. There's no time to waste. There's so much to celebrate. Believe in what you feel inside and give your dreams the wings to fly.
had to let that one go a little longer to get to
Yeah.
the chorus, but the unmistakable sound of Mr. Josh Groban, 2004, Believe.
Now, is this song, I may be wrong, but I think this song is in the movie The Polar Express.
Yes,
All right.
you are correct.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. I thought I've heard the song on the radio, but then I was like, man, I think this was in a movie too.
Yeah, and that movie, the way it was filmed with the lifelike animation, Tom Hanks, of course,
Yeah.
is the train conductor, and this is one of the premier songs, if not the song of the movie, Believe by Josh Groban. Just awesome sound, like
Right.
that the voice of an angel, man. I tell you, that guy.
Yeah. He's definitely good.
And shout out to my wife and her brother, because they sang this in church one Christmas.
Oh, okay.
At a Christmas Eve service that we had, and
Nice.
her and him, he was on the guitar and she was vocals, and yeah, to this day, that's my favorite version of the song, is the one that they did. But yeah, the originator, Josh Groban, with Believe from 2004.
Nice.
Did your kids get into the Polar Express? Because I mean, you were probably at least two kids deep by that time.
Well, my oldest son was born in June of '04, so my oldest daughter was only 2 at the time.
Yeah.
But then through the years, some of my other kids have watched it. And my 18-year-old daughter, Hannah, we were just talking about this, I think, either earlier today or yesterday, and she said that the movie scared her because she said the animation was creepy to her. So
Yeah, it's definitely kind of a shell shock when you first see this, because it's almost so realistic that it looks
Right.
kind of creepy. But I
Yeah.
know this was a very popular children's book in the
Oh,
90s.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
of course they made it in 2004. So yeah, man,
Right.
just a great song.
yeah, good song.
Alrighty. Well, let's go to our last pick, Ken. We got the 2010s. This was the hardest one for me. I don't know if it was for you, but
A little bit.
yeah, now we're full-fledged adults, and our musical taste has changed. Some of the artists of the past have changed. So let's hear what you got for 2010.
All right.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. Take a look at the 5 and 10. It's glistening once again with candy canes and silver lanes that glow. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Silky Smooth, man.
Yes. So an oldie but a goodie. I mean, this song's been redone time and time again, but
Yeah.
from Michael Bublé, 2011, from his album called Christmas. I mean, dude, yeah, like you said, silky smooth. He's probably our generation's, Frank Sinatra or Dean Martin. So
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
man, his Christmas songs are great. Yeah. Like I said, an old song, but his version, perfect.
Yeah, man, the sound of Bublé, the crooner, hit the nail on the head, very much like Sinatra of modern day.
Yeah.
So, good pick, dude. Very good.
All right.
Pick.
Yeah.
Well, let's end my pick of the 2010s. We're gonna go a little poppy. You mentioned this person earlier, but this was one of her hits of the 2010s.
One day, everything changed. You're all I need. Underneath the tree, you're here, where you should be. Snow is falling as the carols sing. It just wasn't the same alone on Christmas Day. Precious, what a beautiful sight. Don't need a thing if you ain't holding me tight. You're all that I need. Underneath the tree, I found.
You got Kelly Clarkson, got her start on American Idol, one of the biggest success stories of Idol, maybe outshadowed maybe by Carrie Underwood. But,
Yeah.
yeah, Kelly Clarkson has, in her own right, become a very popular singer and definitely has that, Christmas staple, I think, with this song, Underneath the Tree, 2013.
Yeah, man, definitely the 2010s was her time, and just, a powerful voice. And yeah, that's probably one of the more famous Christmas songs coming out of the 2010s. And yeah, good song, man.
Yeah, I feel like I always hear this song in like Kohl's or like a department store.
Right.
It's just like over the loudspeaker you hear this.
Yeah.
So or like at a festival of lights or something. So anyway, we didn't go into 2020s. I wouldn't know anything about something that's gone on here in the last 5 years. But
right.
Did you have any honorable mentions?
Oh gosh, man. I was almost going to pick the Last Christmas for the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Or I was going to pick Jingle Bell Rock from Hall & Oates for one of my 80s picks. I almost picked In Sync for the 90s. Oh, man, what's the song?
It's Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
That's
very,
the one.
Very, very of the times.
Yeah, those were a few that I thought of putting in there.
Yeah, I just had one honorable mention. We'll throw it on Amazon and a Spotify playlist, but 1982 Dolly Parton Hard Candy Christmas. You ever heard of that one?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Anyway, that's an underrated Christmas song.
Yeah.
And old Dolly, she was had a voice herself. So,
oh yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, man, awesome picks, dude. We both came through here at the end with some awesome picks. And like I said, listeners, we'll share a playlist. Both Ken and I will combine our songs, throw them on an Amazon playlist, throw them on a Spotify playlist. You'll click right there in the show notes, and what's left of Christmas by the time you hear this. Let's listen to our picks.
Right, for sure. Yeah, you can definitely even listen to this even after the Christmas season, and we still got going into New Year's. So yeah, man. All right, Chad. Well, that's going to put a bow on our 2025 Christmas Grab Bag episode. We did a lot of segments. We had a lot of fun. We ended it there great with some Christmas songs. It was a great episode. What'd you think?
Listen, man, all the segments were fun, but I am the reigning Jeopardy champion. That's what I'm going to take away from this episode. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. The champ is here. Now, we just had the champ have his final match with John Cena.
Yeah.
But now the Jeopardy champ finally gets a win under his belt. So I'm very happy about that. If anything, I got to win. Thanks to the Christmas pickle.
That Christmas pickle will forever go down in Retro Resurgence history as Chad being the champ. He gets to take that into 2026. So yeah, man.
Yeah, man, it's fun, dude. I love planning for this, and even as fun as the preparation is, the execution, doing this here with you tonight, man, it's been fun. We're pretty late in the evening getting on the horn here because of our schedules, but dude, man, I look forward to doing this again next year, and we could just do the same segments and just keep repeating that over and over if we wanted to,
Sure, for sure.
Well, Ken, I know you just dropped episode 2 of your Wide World of Toys. You want to give the listeners a little sneak of that?
Yeah, by the time you'll hear this, that will have dropped the day before. So what I did was I didn't do a toy line retrospective, but I gave 5 Christmas gifts that I remember getting as a kid, and just kind of didn't do a top 5, but I went in chronological order from 1978 through I think 85 of 5 gifts that I remembered getting. And yeah, it was fun to record. So yeah, look for that one too.
Yeah, man, you're doing a good job there. Already 2 episodes under your belt. Expect a lot more in 2026 from the Wide World of Toys.
That's right.
I'm glad you rebooted that, and think it's going to definitely scratch that toy itch that you need to have done.
Yeah, it definitely will.
Yeah. Well, these Christmas episodes are always a time to just say thanks. We thank you, the listeners. Me and Ken, we're just normal, regular dudes in our 40s and 50s, just, doing the best we can, trying to be good family guys. But a love and an affinity for the old days. And the listeners, while we have a small, quaint community of regular followers, we hope that you and yours have a great season, a great Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and everything else that goes with that. And Ken, it's been a blast this year. I know we're rolling at the end of the year on a high. We've got the topic tank filled to the brim.
Yeah.
With episodes. We've got most of 2026 already planned out, so look for bigger and better things from the Retro Resurgence, right?
Yeah, for sure. We got a lot planned for next year. And yeah, Chad, Merry Christmas to you and your family. We got our first full year under our belt of the show, where we went from January all the way through here, December. And yeah, it's been a fun ride. And yeah, we plan on doing this for quite a long time. And yeah, we'll see you in 2026.
And listeners, leave us feedback and comments. What'd you like about the show? Give us any pics of any of the segments that we did. Give me an attaboy over there for the Jeopardy win. I would love to see that. And we again thank you for your support, your listens, and to everyone out there in podcast land. Ken, you and your family, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and we'll see you in January.
Yep, we'll see you then.
Thank you for listening to the Retro Resurgence podcast. You can find us on most major podcast platforms, including Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also find us on social media at the following: on Instagram at The Retro Resurgence, on X at Retro Resurgence, our email, theretroresurgence@gmail.com. You can also find us at our website, www.theretroresurgence.com. And lastly, you can find us online at our home base, www.theretronetwork.com, where you'll also find lots of great content. Please engage with us on social media or leave us feedback at our email. Leave a rate and review wherever you listen to podcasts. Join us again in 2 weeks here on the Retro Resurgence podcast.
And that wraps up another episode of the Retro Resurgence podcast. We're so grateful you joined us today and took a trip down memory lane with us. And we can't wait to bring you more retro goodness in our next episode. Until then, keep embracing the past, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for listening.
This has been a presentation of the Retro Network.